If you ever heard your partner say, "Hey, thanks for taking care of that for me," and it translated in your head, "I'm getting lucky tonight," or something less extreme. She said, "I really had a hard day today with my coworker," and you thought, "I'll fix it. It's okay." Then this episode of the Fallible Man Podcast is for you. Let's go. Here's the $1,000,000 question. How do men like us reach our full potential and grow into the men we dream of being while taking care of our responsibilities, working, being good husbands, fathers, and still take care of ourselves? That's the question, and this podcast will help you with those answers. My name is Brent, and welcome to the Fallible Man Podcast. Welcome to the Fallible Man Podcast, your home for all things man, husband, and father. Big shout out to Fallible Nation and a warm welcome to our first-time listeners. My name is Brent, and I am the Fallible Man. Let's face it, for being the same species, men and women speak two very different languages, and it often gets us in a lot of trouble with our relationships. Communication between the sexes is frustrating because we want to be on the same page as our partner, but we usually aren't. The majority of the time, saying, "Am I translating what you're saying accurately?" It's probably a bad idea. But as we get into it, play a game with me for a minute, okay? Just play a game with me. Stop, write these down as you go, or answer them in your head. Answer a couple questions. If she says, "I don't want your advice," what's the right response? If she says, "There's no way I'm letting my mom come in and change things around when she gets here for this party," what's the right response? Hint, damn straight is not the answer. Just saying. Number 3, guys, if she says, "I'm not sure what to do about my manager. They have really unreasonable deadlines," what's the right response? Well, we'll get back to that in a few minutes, but with the onset of custom AIs, I'm actually out there waiting for Scroogle to come up with Scroogle Translate for relationships, right? An app I can pull up on my phone and record the conversation and it translates it in the moment in real time. Honestly, it'd probably have to be like the Google Glasses thing, like an augmented reality kind of thing, heads up display. So she didn't realize I was using it all the time because I'm sure that probably wouldn't be acceptable. They just say I was being lazy about my relationship. But in the meantime, what do the rest of us do? What do we do? We don't have that app yet. Well, I got 5 things, gentlemen, that I want to share with you that will absolutely help until we get those great AIs going, okay? So let's start with number 1, studying your spouse. I've done several other shows on understanding your spouse's love language, the way she thinks, the way she communicates. And if you aren't willing to put in the time to learn your partner, then you already failed. And this is a dead end show for you. So go ahead and click off to something else. I'll put a couple of those shows in the show notes. If you've started learning your partner, then please keep going with this show. But you're going to have to put in some base effort. This is more of an advanced level. Number 2. Tune into the moment. You will fail. Let's say if I can say it right. You will fail every time you communicate with a woman the moment you are not in the moment. You have to learn to pause everything and be present, intentionally present in the communication process, or you've already failed. I know it doesn't seem fair, but that's just how it works. This will be difficult. Men, we have to switch gears in our brains. We have to step into a different place in our minds and be here in this moment, in this time, in this place, and shut out everything else. You may have a ton going on, but this is what has to happen. If you want to successfully communicate with your partner, everything gets put on hold because you can't translate what she's saying with any kind of accuracy while you're focused on other things. That's just how it works. It's just a factual truth. Sorry, I know some of you want to multitask, but it's not going to work in this situation. So put everything else on stop. Focus on being in the moment. Focus on being present in the conversation. And that's where we're going to start with this. Number 3, park your fact finder. Now, some of you are old enough to remember the quote, "Just the facts, ma'am, just the facts." If you aren't, look it up, Google it. The majority of men lean into their fact-based logic thinking pattern. It makes us excel at some things and acts as like a power break on others sometimes. The old concept of left brain logic and right brain creative artistic has long since been shelved. Okay. That's not how it actually works, but that's how we kind of imagine it working a lot of time. The However, the fact that we still think more on facts, logic, and data hasn't changed. That's just the way our brains are hardwired. Not that women don't have those thoughts, but our brain is just hardwired where that is our default response. Unless she asks you for a data-based answer directly, it's not what she wants you to dwell on. It's not where she wants your mind. While there are exceptions for anything, there are some universal truths, and most women are not trying to have a conversation with a database like Google. It's just not what gets them going, guys. We aren't far from talking to robots. In fact, a lot of us live with them at our home. But she can do that if she wants to. She can go talk to Alexa all she wants. But if that's what she wanted, she wouldn't bother to talk to you. AI is still logic-based. They're getting more creative and more in touch with that, which is sad because robotic AI may be outpacing us on that part. So we better step it up. But if that's what she wanted, she'd be chatting with Alexa or whatever assistant she has, not you. Lean into the words that articulate feelings, emotion, dreams, and thoughts of what could be and what's imagined, because that's where she's going to be communicating from, because that's her base. And that's okay. It's just different than what you're used to. She doesn't want to know that your coffee is black, Italian roast, dark, and piping hot. That's not what she's asking when she asks about your coffee. She wants to know about what memory or thought is stirred as you smell it, why it makes you smile, how the warmth in your hands makes you feel, how it feels as it goes down your body and warms you up, what that inspires in your brain. Do you drink it black because you always have, or because you found out that's the way you prefer it? And what's the story behind that? Or have you never tried other things and she wants to know why you haven't tried the other ways of having it? Have you tried it every other way you can? What experience did you have that made you prefer black coffee as opposed to a latte or something like that? What's the story behind the choice? Does it inspire you to greatness as you drink your coffee and get ready for the day? Does it make you feel like you're stronger or ready to handle the day? Now, if that seems like a headache, this is the difference in the way we communicate. I went to coffee because I understand that, but this is the difference in the way we communicate. If I ask you about your coffee, I'm asking, you got sugar and cream in it? What kind of roast is it? Hot, cold? That's not what women are asking, guys. And we need to understand the way they're asking questions versus the way we ask questions. How well do you sleep at night? Do you toss and turn and wake up more tired than when you went to bed? Sleep is commonly one of the critical elements people fall short on in their life. The quality of sleep you get directly affects your ability to control your weight, your ability to add muscle, your stress levels, and your everyday job and life performance. If you're ready to move to the next level, then sleep has to be part of the plan. Check out our friends at ghostbed.com if you're ready to get your best sleep. I love my ghost bed. I've been sleeping on one for a couple years and has made a huge difference in how I sleep. Hit ghostbed.com and use the code TheFallibleMan30 to get 30% off your order and start getting better night's sleep tomorrow. Now, let's go on to the show. Number 4, listen to your whole body. Now, I'm not talking about just looking at her when she's talking, which you should be doing, or even leaning in a little, which is good practice to convey that you're engaged. It's good body language. Best estimates suggest over 80% of communication is nonverbal. There are some experts who will argue that up to 93% of the way we communicate is nonverbal. Whether it's 80 or 93 is kind of irrelevant, but get it. Your body reacts when you're listening and when you're communicating in a big way. That's the base takeaway, right? So how does she smell compared to normal? Now, that's a really advanced thing. You have to understand what your wife smells like all the time, or your partner, or whoever. But guess what? It changes with emotional reaction. What's her tone? What's the speed of her communication? Is her speech pattern changed? Is she fidgety? Is she focused, or is she looking around, or is she making direct eye contact? Is she sweating? Is she flustered? Is she distracted? Is her skin flushed? Is she picking at herself? Is her skin more oily or dry than usual? Does she seem relaxed, or is she uncomfortable? These are all things that are speaking to you that you need to dial into and listen with your whole body. Number 5, stay in the moment. Yeah, I know we talked about being present back in 2. However, this is the follow-up because this is important. You have to stay on the train the whole ride. Does that make sense? If you look like you're anxious to wrap it up, or you're watching the time, the conversation's over, she's mad, and you have failed. That's how it works. This is why it's extremely important to schedule in a regular time to communicate with your partner, and it will help you it will help you not fall into this trap, guys. The minute you look like you're trying to get away from it, you're done. She's done communicating with you. That's bad. Okay. You've got to stay engaged and stay on the train the entire time. No jumping off early. Now, this may seem like a lot, but if you love your partner, if you love your spouse, then this is the way you need to communicate. Now, this is good communication habits with anybody, but this is critical when it comes to a healthy relationship. All of these things will contribute. So how did you do on the first 3 questions? I don't want your advice. There's no way I'm letting my mom come in and change things around. I'm not sure what to do about my manager. They're really unreasonable. Now, here are the correct responses. I didn't tell you there are actually correct responses. When she says, I don't want your advice, the correct response is, it sounds like you would just like to be understood, so let me listen for a while. When she says, there's no way I'm letting my mom come in and change things around for this party, the correct answer is, you sound pretty determined to establish some healthy boundaries. How can I help support you? If she says, I'm not sure what to do about my manager, they really have unreasonable deadlines, the correct answer is, sounds like you're feeling a lot of pressure at work. Now, if you landed something close to one of those, right, give yourself credit for that. It doesn't have to be those exact words. And if you didn't land anywhere near that, don't worry. Hey, the first time I got faced with those questions, like this actually comes out of a workbook from a marriage seminar, I promise I didn't even come close to these answers. Okay. I'm still a work in progress. So don't fret if you didn't land. Fret, is that a good word? Don't freak out if you didn't get it, guys. Like I said, I didn't come anywhere close. Trust me. That's how I know that first answer of damn straight isn't the right answer. Okay. That tells you how badly I did that. It's okay. Gentlemen, we got to update our game. We got to just upgrade. If we're going to have healthy relationships, then we got to step up our game, because that's what we can do. We can control us. We can't control anything else. So we got to fix it on our end. Try these 5 things. Let us know what you think. Get back with me. Tell me if this helps you. Tell me which one you're going to apply. I'd love to hear your take on all this. Now, it is Friday, so I want to shout out to one of our listeners. Walk to Wealth left us an amazing review that says, amazing show. I'm so glad I came across this show. I've taken so many actionable and practical nuggets of advice to implement. Love tuning in. Thank you so much, guys. Those reviews super help us to reach out to more people. It helps Apple Podcasts know to put us in front of more people, and it helps us just get the word out. Also, hey, it's not too late. The Phoenix Conference, guys, it's 38 days away. Your tickets are still available, virtual and in person. Join us at the Phoenix Conference. If you like the podcast, wait till you get to the conference. You're going to dig it. It's an awesome experience. And if you are looking to walk side by side, maybe you need some help conquering your goals, building a plan, and seeking the life that you want, and you just need some help getting over a couple hurdles, reach out to me at www.fallibleman.com/coaching. Schedule a free discovery call. See if working with me directly would be a good answer for you. If not, I know some other coaches that I could turn you to. We just want to help you here at the Fallible Man as you make that journey as men. Guys, as always, thanks for listening, and be better tomorrow because of what you do today, and we'll see you on the next.
This has been the Fallible Man Podcast, your home for everything man, husband, and father. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a show. Head over to www.thefallibleman.com for more content and get your own Fallible Man gear.